All right, here we go. Good evening, basketball fans and friends, and welcome to what some people consider to be the best basketball rivalry in this province. We are just seconds away from the number 3 ranked Vancouver College Fighting Irish taking on the home team, number 8, St. George's Saints. My name is Paul Prosnick, and tonight I'm going to be joined by my colleague, Associate Principal at St. George's School, Brian Lee, and I can't think of a better person to call this match with. For those that aren't aware, Brian, former teacher and coach at Vancouver College before he made his move to St. George's. And fittingly, the last time he coached for our school in 2009 was the provincial final versus none other than Vancouver College, when Emerson Murray hit a baseline jumper with literally seconds left on the clock over Phil Scrubb, capturing St. George's School first and only senior basketball provincial championship. As a matter of fact, that championship team will be here tonight, and we're going to honor them at halftime. And we have a tip.
Here we go.
Last time these teams met, January 22nd. VC taking that game 90-89. They jumped out to 32-18 lead at the first quarter, led the whole game. However, St. George's battled back and took Callum Chow White to hit one free throw to break the tiebreaker. Big story for tonight's game, Brian. Callum Chow White out with a concussion.
That's a big loss. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they regroup as a team without him, because he's an energy guy for this group, and they really fuel off of his presence on the offensive end. So it's going to take a concerted effort by the entire team to pull this together.
I think anytime you lose a starter, that takes a blow to your team. He scored 19 points in that last game.
Well, what a great start for a first bucket of the game, and having a dunk already takes the baseline. Good job on the defensive end. It's going to be interesting to see how the defense pulls this together early in the game.
St. George's had a little bit of difficulty last game handling the big man down inside. We'll see how they do tonight. No basket. We got a foul. You can pretty much expect that Vancouver College, they are gonna press all game long. And I think St. George's is gonna try to do the same.
Well, early in the game it's gonna be important for St. George's to go through their game plan and not get all riled up by the energy in the moment.
In speaking with Jared Palmer earlier this week, he said that typically the St. George's team tend to start slow, but they feel that tonight they're going to bring some energy and looking to make amends to how they started the last game. Also playing this week, again, Jackson Cohey coming back off of injury. Despite playing last game versus Vancouver College, I don't think he was at his best.
Well, I'll tell you what, if that last rebound he got on the defensive end was any indication, I think he's ready to go.
Foul on Josh Lum-Tung. He's a lifer from Vancouver College, gone there since kindergarten. Interesting story, his two brothers actually coached the grade 9 team. Big board there. Alma on the break. Jarek Palma. This is the sort of start that St. George's was looking for. They've got the crowd obviously in the game. Tickets very hard to come by. As a matter of fact, you ain't getting a ticket to get in here tonight.
Well, you can see right away that Vancouver College is sticking to the game plan. The last 4 trips, they went inside to the big man 2 times, and you know they're going to stick to that all the way through. Now, talking about game plan, that's a pretty good one for me. That's a nice look for Jarek Palmer.
Well, Jarek Palma, last game, got injured in the first quarter, bad ankle. He tells me today, feeling great, and you can see it right there. Will Lynn is not going to hesitate to shoot that ball, let me tell you. He's actually a proficient three-point shooter himself. I think one of the keys tonight to the game is how St. George's is going to defend the pick and roll. You're going to see a lot of pick and roll situations from Vancouver College. And look at this. We're bringing in the other big guy, Tony Marich. He had a monster game last time these two were out. 24 points, 14 of those points scored in the fourth quarter, Brian.
Well, Paul, let me tell you, if what got us in the latter part of the game was their high-low game between their two bigs. And we did a good job in the end, I think, denying that. But we're going to see how strong we come out with that same attack. Good hustle underneath by Alma.
Alma playing with a lot of energy tonight, not afraid to take the ball to the basket. We just need to see him finish.
That was a good job on the defensive end to ensure that there was separation on that block. Al's got to take it right at him, try to draw that foul early in the game.
That's a nice board by Sean Hepner.
Nice looking shot by Hunter.
He was the game-high scorer last time these two teams met. He had 25 points. But let me tell you, he didn't actually have a three. I'd like to see if he's going to be able to dial it down from downtown. Not sure if that's his game.
Strong take.
Now, that's what you get out of Jackson Cohey is you get some athleticism. And I think, as you can see already, there's a lot more energy in his game than we saw in the last time these teams met.
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul, I think that's a matchup that they got to explore a little bit more often. Jackson's ability to get to the hole, take his man off the bounce, is something that they don't have an answer for. You take a look at their two bigs on the court, and they're going to be a little bit slow in cutting them off and taking those angles away. There we go with the high-low game. I'll tell you, that is going to be an interesting matchup down the road to see how we deal with that high-low execution, and they're doing a good job in going to it right from the beginning. I'm impressed with how they actually have stuck with that game plan. No question what they're trying to do.
Now, obviously, Lloyd Scrubb knows what he's doing. Last game, he didn't have the two big men really in the game at the same time. But now Marich able to dial it down from a deep shot right there. Was that a three, that last one? I think that might have been a two.
Well, that's a tough check if he starts knocking that one down for sure.
St. George's seems to be doing a better job this game of slowing down the transition just a little bit. And there you go. Hunter Cruz Dumont from the outside. Didn't look very smooth coming off his hand there. Nonetheless, we all know he comes from a family of ball players, and he's still going to be a positive contributor tonight.
He's one of those individuals that can heat up in a second, so I'm sure we will see different results as the game goes on.
Sam Wooder coming into the game. He didn't have too many minutes the last time these teams played, but I think he can contribute. They're looking for him, obviously, I think, to get aggressive on the big guy. Here you go, St. George's in transition. Anytime you can get to the free throw line, let me tell you, that's going to be a good thing. Last time these teams played, VC only went to the line 10 times. St. George's 17 times to the line. They were 9 for 17, and VC was 8 for 10. So a little bit of a difference there when it comes to shooting percentage from the line.
Well, Paul, you made a good point earlier on when you talked about the energy level that you're seeing at the start of this game. Very, very different. I mean, every time we're getting a rebound on the defensive end, we're looking ahead. Guys are running the wings real hard, wide, and they're getting opportunities. That's the third free throw opportunity that they're getting, so good job on them.
There's a pick and roll. How are we going to defend?
Oh, I was waiting to see if he was going to call a foul on that one. It looks like the game plan, they're trying to hedge that, and it's not a soft hedge, it's a hard hedge on that, making the offensive player have to take a few steps back, and they regain their position. So we'll see if that continues throughout the game.
And it looks like Marich is going to kind of slip that pretty quick too. So he's an agile, big guy. They're going to take advantage of that for sure. We got Jagger Scarf into the game, and not only that, Thomas Chen, number 2. I'm surprised to see us Saints going to the bench this early, but obviously they feel they need to keep up this pace.
They got to keep the ball handler out of the middle of the court, keep them on the side. No middle penetration.
Well, it's interesting. You got number 14, Soriano, guarding Jarek Palma. Soriano was actually the best defensive player at the junior provincials last year, so the guy knows how to defend. Now, Coach Lee, I want you to put your coach hat on. That's a foul on, I thought that was a foul on Vancouver College.
They called an offensive
foul. Oh, it was?
Now.
No, that's right. He's reaching 90 feet from the basket. What do you think of that foul?
I'm sure he's going to hear from Coach Scrub on that one.
And of course, St. George's likes to run their own pick and roll as well. Really want to try to free up Jarek Palma, number 4, as much as we can. For those that have just tuned in, he's St. George's leading scorer. Vancouver College leading scorer right now. Number 11's got the ball. And here it is, high-low action. Trying to get the ball to high post, look down low, see what they can get. Vancouver College spacing the floor pretty well, moving the ball.
Very good ball movement on the offensive end. I'll tell you what, I love the physicality.
Now, Brian, again, we got to coach a good game here. And Vancouver College, the last 2 possessions, has fouled 90 feet away from the basket. I'm not thinking that's very smart basketball.
You know what, that's a testament to the energy level that this game brings. And they're so caught up in the moment right now. I think they're just, as the game goes on, you're going to see a bit more composure from their end. But definitely it's a physical game. All cutters are getting bumped. No one's getting anything easy. All shots are being contested, so you got to love it. I mean, this is what I love about these games here is that the crosstown rivalry, the familiarity with each other, it brings out the best. And it's amateur, it's high school sports at its very best. And you know what? We're very privy to have front row seats to this, aren't we?
Well, let me tell you, I couldn't be in a better environment right now. And if you look at sports going on in Vancouver, I think this might be the only ticket in town tonight.
It's the hottest ticket for sure, I'm telling you.
Got Palma on the line, and he's dynamite. Last game, he was 6 for 7 from the line, and he actually had to hit 2 clutch 3 throws at the end before gave possession to Vancouver College, who came down and won the game with 2.5 seconds left when Callum White hit the free throws. Once again, Callum Chow White is out tonight with a concussion. So Coach Disbro cycling through the subs very quickly here. Wooder coming out of the game. Jackson Coey back in. And guess what? Jackson Coey's birthday tonight. February 6th. Let's hope birthday boy can really light it up.
That's a good baseline drift pass, wide open. And once again, a little slow to react on that. Now, I'll tell you, Cohee's got to stay out of foul trouble tonight. We're going to need his athleticism on the defensive end to contain what they bring on the inside.
And just like that, picks up with that second foul. We're going to have to get caught up here at the end of the quarter on fouls. Nevertheless, Alma back into the game. Both teams, 5 fouls, so we're going to see some free throw shooting now. Both teams in the bonus.
Well, as you say, in the first quarter, Cohee's already picked up his second foul. I wouldn't be surprised if they sit him until certainly halfway through the second quarter.
Also into the game for St. George's, number 3, Darian Lennett. Oh, my.
Big shot.
Hunter Scarf, spot up. I think he's going to be a spot up three-point shooter tonight, and that gives the team a little bit of a lift for sure. St. George's up by 5 here.
That's a tough matchup inside for sure.
Well, that's what I'm wondering is how are they going to prevent that entry pass? Because once he gets it, I think that's going to cause some havoc.
Big shot.
Thomas Chen. Again, we got 2 guys coming off the bench, hitting threes. You got to tell me that's going to give you a little bit of energy. Well, St. George's crowd letting them know. Got no rim on that last shot.
I mean, the pace of this game is making a difference right now. I think as you take a look at on both ends, Paul, the last 5 possessions, both teams took a shot within 10 seconds of the shot clock. Lots of room to go, and I think if we're a bit more patient, we'll get the looks that we want.
Well, let me tell you, the last time these played, these 2 teams put up a combined 179 points. If I go back in the last 15 meetings between these 2 teams, that's the second highest point total, so we're in for a track meet. Luke Therian on the line. Can you believe it that Luke did not start playing basketball till grade 9? He's really must have made some strides as a player. Great to see him out here. He's actually a U17 provincial team member as well.
You know what? You got to like those late bloomers. I mean, he's coming to the game a bit later than most, but his potential and upsides are through the roof. I know a lot of college coaches are looking at him.
And Darian Lennett really slashing hard. Nice reverse layup. Again, I think the guys coming off the bench are giving St. George's a nice lift.
Well, you know what you're seeing, Paul? You've seen a lot of seniors step up in this game. This is their last go at the VC Saint Series, and you better believe that they've been thinking about this for some time now. So it's nice to see that they're bringing it and leaving nothing on the court.
Jaggers calling for the ball. We got 7 seconds left in the quarter, and Jarek Palma elects to take the shot. 2.4 left. We've got St. George's ball here on the baseline. We're going to need a set play here. Given that last game went right down to the buzzer with the junior boys, St. George's taking that game 55-53. There was 0.2 seconds left on the clock. How much time do you need to get a shot off anyway?
They say it's almost impossible to get an actual shot off before 0.3 or 0.4. And remember last year we had that same scenario come up. You got to look for a tip, but catching it and shooting it, there's not enough time to get it off.
Okay, so hey, here we are at the end of the first quarter. St. George's is up 18-11. Now, some people wanted to say, hey, home court advantage in this series. Well, I go back in the last 14 meetings between these 2 teams, and fans out there might be surprised. The home team has won 50% of the time, so there might not be a huge advantage. But prior to starting the second quarter here, what do you think are going to be the keys to success here going forward?
Well, I'm looking at St. George's, and I would say that their transition D has been pretty good. If you remember the last game, there might have been about 16 to 18 points given up just on transition alone offense for Vancouver College. So they've done a pretty good job in nullifying that in this game. The second thing is minimizing the second shots. Their bigs cannot get second and third shot opportunities because I think they're skilled enough to take advantage of that and put some points up on the board as a result. And the last thing I'm going to say, they got to offensively execute their game plan. Right now, it looks like they're rushing. They're looking for the first shot that they think is open. I think that one more pass will give them an easier shot that's uncontested. So that's from St. George's side.
Okay, here we go. Jarek Palma with the ball at the top. Let's look for a pick and roll. They're double teaming the ball here, rotating back. Thomas Chen, an air ball. I had a feeling he was going to shoot that after he made that last one.
Well, you know, they are getting some open looks, especially on that baseline drift, all right? And they're doing a good job in getting to their spots. Now, I would still like to see them spend a little bit more time with it because I think they're going to get even more open on those looks.
And how about for that fan at home that really maybe doesn't even understand what you're talking about, baseline drift? Perhaps later you can explain that.
There's the second and third shot opportunities we're talking about. All right, well, got to get up on the boards.
I'm going to give you a little stat because I think you like stats from time to time. But in the NC2A, second chance shot opportunities, the shooting percentage on second chance shots, 80%. 80%. So that gets to your point. You got a board. And we got both bigs in the game right now for Vancouver College. And you're not going to stop that. The way Hunter can attack the rim, draw the D, and a little dish. Oh, beautiful runner by Jarek Palma. And again, it looks like they're going to try to front the post here. No, they're playing behind.
Now, real quickly, looking at the keys to success for VC, I think they got to keep going inside. I mean, they're having a lot of success early in this game. It's a really good look for them, and it's what worked for them last time. We really don't have an answer for that, and if they explore that, we're gonna have our hands full down the end of the game. Second thing is the transition. They got to keep looking to push it, and where are their guys? They had some good looks. I haven't seen Hunter though get too much early, have we?
No, but you know, I think what he's going to do is he's probably a smart enough player that he's going to let the game come to him. And if there's an opportunity for him to attack the basket and get to the rim, he's going to do that. He's very quick with the ball. I think he's an excellent passer, and he can help you in other ways. I think really what happened is that Lloyd Scrubb saw an opportunity the last time these two teams played with St. George's difficulty handling both bigs at the same time, and that's what we're seeing tonight, is they are hammering the ball inside. Obviously, Bill Disbrose is trying to find a way that he can guard that, prevent that entry pass, but with Jackson Coey on the bench, that's a big hit for St. George's right now. So even though St. George's is up 5, my sense here is that VC is going to close the gap a little bit right now.
Yeah, and it's not a comfortable 5, right? It's not a comfortable 5 because we know that VC can turn it up at any point. The other thing, too, is that they got to keep the ball out of Palma's hands. When he gives it up, they got to deny him the basketball. Don't let him touch it. And you almost want to double him early, get it out of his hands, and just deny him all the way through. He's that lethal on the offensive end. Make the other guys hurt you a little bit, but Palma, if he scores over 25, 30 points, I think it's going to be a tough one for VC down the road. So
I agree. I'm not sure if VC is willing to do that, but there you go. if they're not going to do something, they could be in trouble.
I mean, there's a prime example right there. They're doing a good job in getting them open, and he's doing an excellent job in using the screens. So here they are with the dribble drive, looking to attack. That's a good defense all around. There's the second shot. You got to keep them off the boards.
Oh. That might be Marich. That might be his second foul. No, that's on Soriano. That's his. That's got to be his second.
That's a second. That's his first, correct?
And for those that know Vancouver College and their strong football program, he's also a football player. Defensive back, conference all-star this past season, and he's also a member of their track and field team. So nice to see a three-sport athlete out here.
Good ball movement.
Wow, and there's Darian, spot up. That's what you're going to get from him. Spot up, three-point shooter, but the way St. George's shared the ball, a little bit of attacking dribble, drive and dish and kick, well done.
And that's it, you know, Paul, if they're patient with the basketball, the discipline enough not to shoot within the first 10, 15 seconds of shot clock, they are going to get those open looks. Their bigs can't defend them on the perimeter. They're not closing out well. You make that extra pass, they're going to get some easy opportunities.
And I just also want to acknowledge Ben Steiner sitting here with us, our information director, helping us out with any tidbits along the way. He's giving me a little note here that said that Jackson Coey and Jarek have the most three-point attempts on the team. So you're going to see Jarek like to shoot that three ball. I know it's not a surprise to you, Brian, but maybe the fans at home are just watching this game for the first time. That's a good hard take by Hunter. I don't really want to comment too much on the referees tonight, but I was expecting a call there.
Well, you know what I like, though, on the defensive end? I liked how the help defense, they helped outside the key, and he got to that block, and it was literally a race to the block. They did a good job with that. There was contact, but you know what? You can argue that it was a straight up and down contact. There was contact in the air, but he was straight up and down.
Now, for those of you that are turning in, you might not realize that this is one of the most watched broadcasts on SportsCanada.TV. Last year, we had over 1,800 views from 8 different countries, if you can believe it. And we're expecting the same thing tonight. Many people have contacted me for tickets, I'm sure yourself. Wanted a wristband to get in here and couldn't. Obviously, if we could get them in here, we would. So we apologize for all those people that want to be here that can't. But we're glad that you're tuned in tonight watching. We're hoping that you're able to feel the energy in here and enjoy the game as much as you and I are calling it.
Well, you know, Paul, when you taught the kids about their most memorable experiences in high school and the things that they're going to take away, oftentimes they will reflect on these games. And whether you're a basketball player or not, just being a part of something special, school spirit, this brings it all out.
And very nice transition. Steal there by Thomas Chen. Jarek running the floor. Little concerned. He hasn't played. This is the first game he's played since the last time these two teams met. So St. George's has had 3 games since then, or sorry, 2 games since then. And he doesn't look like he's lost a step at all.
There's a second shot, so they got to keep them off the boards. Good job.
This is about the 4th foul that Vancouver College has taken 90 feet away from the basket. And I don't want to harp on these things because people are watching tonight. They're probably saying, listen, I heard you the first time. I don't want to hear it again. But not a very good foul. Looks like St. George is going 5 out here. They want to try to draw everybody out and see how they're going to handle the penetration. What's really going to happen is they're going to pass the ball, they're going to cut, someone's going to replace, and keep that cycle going. They're going to attack. They're going to attack the rim.
Which, you know what, I think that's a great way to go about it because their bigs do not want to guard outside the three-point line, and again, they're able to take them off the dribble and create opportunities.
We got number 8 into the game for Vancouver College, Logan Hale. He's also a member of their golf team that finished number 6 in the province last year.
You know, it's great to see because these games are filled with athletes, not just basketball players, but guys who contribute in different realms. And that's what makes these games so special. You gotta love the hunger and intensity that you're seeing on the court right now, Paul. What do you think?
You can't beat a player that's willing to get on the floor, sacrifice his body to make a play. A lot of energy here. I'm just wondering if both teams are going to be able to keep this pace up. I'm going to tell you, Al Ma is looking a bit tired there at the back. We got 5 minutes to go in the quarter here. He's having to muscle down low, and that's going to take his toll on him. And there you go. Sometimes the finish can be difficult, especially when you're tired. And Luke Therian just getting a hand up there, right? Causing havoc for the shot. Just the fact that I know that there's going to be a big man there and a hand gets in someone's head. Once again, there's Hunter making a great pass to Logan.
Well, there's a lesson out there for all the young kids. It's not about getting block shots. It's about making the shot difficult for your opponent and just getting there in position, getting your hands up, not leaving the ground. Makes a big difference on the defensive end. Good job for Luke.
Now, Brian, I'm not sure if your family's here tonight, but I thought maybe I'd give a little shout out to my family. They're at home in the living room. The game is on. The popcorn is popped. I want to say hello to Chase and Sydney. Maybe my wife too, Lana.
You know what, Paul? I got to tell you, I'm looking at my family right now, right across.
I hope they're looking at. I hope they're looking at you.
Nah, they're not bothered about me at all. I got my 3 little ones, and I got my wife Roxanne here. So it's kind of cool to see them take this in. Remember, I've been part of this wonderful experience for 23 years. 3 years at Vancouver College, being on the other side, and of course 20 years here at St. George's School. And I don't take it for granted. Great environment.
And once again, if you joined us late at halftime, we're going to be honoring that St. George's team that you coached in 2009 that won the provincial championship over Vancouver College. We have, I believe, almost every member of that team here, so it's something pretty special.
Special indeed, Paul, special indeed. I just can't believe it's been 10 years since we pulled off a very tough one. Nice shot. Once again, ball movement, patience, and unselfishness.
Oh, Jarek.
Vancouver College has got to be very...
Okay, must be having a problem with the mics here. Check, 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 check.
Microphone check. There's no volume. Can you tell them that we have no volume?
Check, check, check. Check, check.
Check.
Should be a light there, maybe? Check, check. Check, check. Check, check, check.
I think we're back. I think we're back live.
Hey, folks, just experiencing some technical difficulty there. So we are back online here. 34-18. St. George's. Despite maybe having difficulty guarding Vancouver College bigs, Luke Therian and Tony Marich down low, they've still managed to be pretty effective. I would say they're having a fair bit of difficulty containing Jarek Palma, and obviously he has the ability to really light it up and I've seen no signs of him fatiguing at all.
Not at all. What I like, what I'm seeing from St. George's is that other players are contributing. And you know what's really cool? To see the seniors in this game step up, those who may not have had those games in the past, to step up in their final St. George's BC series. Vancouver College has got to slow down a little bit on the offensive end, but defensively, they've got to do a better job in just containing way too many uncontested shots down at the other end right now.
Absolutely. Both teams, 3 team fouls each. I'm sorry to the viewers at home, but we don't have a accurate measure on fouls and foul trouble and points scored at this point. So what we will do is at the end of halftime, before we come back on air, we'll gather that information and give you a heads up.
You know what? Vancouver College got to be very careful that this game doesn't run away from them.
Well, we know that St. George's was down the last time we played. 14 points in the first quarter. They were down 8 at the half. Typically, these games are quite close, so it's never over till it's over.
This will be for the win. Everyone standing here at the
Once again, St. George is going 5 out here.
Gets us open.
Just looking to get some ball movement, some cutting and penetration.
You can see that they're full front guarding Jared Palmer. And that's what they've got to do all the way through, and I think keep the ball in his hands. But you know what? If the non-starters are stepping up the way they're stepping up, I think they've got another problem on their hands.
Again.
Yeah, there is potential. I'm actually quite happy to see Bill go this deep in the bench, because typically he doesn't like to go that deep, and it's paying dividends for him right now.
I think that speaks to the class of this coach team. He understands that seniors are still last go at. He's given that opportunity to play. Shining these
gets us open shot.
And Luke Therian with a little putback. As you talked about all game, you got to keep him off the board. So Vancouver College trying to cut into this 12-point lead.
That's one of those shots I was talking about. I don't know if you need that so early. 13 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, there's some communication, just trailing the play there. Look at that. Little bit of a turnover. That becomes a 5-point swing, just like that.
Now, Paul, how much has the game changed? Back when we played, if you ever stopped and popped from 3 in transition, you better hit that.
Yeah, unless you played for Paul Everhart. He wouldn't mind that at all, back in the old McNair days.
I mean, there is no hesitation in these young kids' minds nowadays when they see an open look from 3. And in fact, it's 3 or 4 feet behind the 3 that these guys are looking to knock it down. Nifty pass and the driving kick. Well done.
Oh. Put the body in front and a charge. Wow. I really have to say, I would have to say so far in this game, if you're looking for a bit of a storyline, that is Thomas Chen, I think, has been an unsung hero for St. George's. Again, if you've just joined us, Callum Chow White out with a concussion. Not only that, Kelly O'Brien, another starter, out with concussion. So Vancouver College is missing 2 starters, and that hurts. There's no way around that.
It does, especially a game of this magnitude when St. George's is amped up to play in their own gym. They're going to need everything that they can get to pull this off.
There's that transition. That gives you energy, easy basket.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Paul, I'd like to see the shooting percentage at halftime for St. George's, because they're shooting the ball very, very well overall.
And that's my point here. They are shooting it well, and as you know, basketball is a game of runs. I'm hoping that they'll be able to sustain this in the second half. But rest be assured, Lloyd Scrubb's going to take this Vancouver College team into the locker room, and he's going to have something coming out the second half. So by no means am I writing off Vancouver College at all.
Great penetration and finish in that last series for Vancouver College by Josh Lumtong.
Sahil Sandhu also into the game here. Again, we sort of talked about that at the broadcast with Hunter, whether or not that's his shot. I'm just not sure that he's got that range to his game. And how about that body control?
Oh my goodness.
Jared Palma.
Paul, that's what we call next level. I mean, he penetrates, holds his defender off with his right hand, and finishes with his left off of one step. And as you know, Jared Palmer is highly touted, recruited by a number of schools across the country, and will have a lot of opportunities to play next level basketball.
Oh, that's a big half. 45-26. Up 19 points. That's a lot of scoring. Almost a bit of a reversal from what we saw the last time these two teams met. But it's halftime now, so I think you and I need to regroup. There's going to be some presentations here as they recognize the championship team that you coached. We'll rejoin here probably about a minute to go before the second half tip, Ryan.
Sounds good, sounds good.
This will be for the win. Everyone standing here at the Agrodome again. Murray gets an open shot. Yeah! He hits it!
Okay, basketball fans, we're back. My name is Paul Prosnick, joined with Brian Lee here. We're having a blast calling this game. For those of you that maybe tuned in late, St. George is up 45-26 at the half. They were up 18-11 at the end of the first quarter. St. George's only went to the line 5 times, 1 for 5 from the line. Vancouver College, 9 for 12. However, Vancouver College has a few, well, we got their big man, Tony Marich, scored 24 points in the last meeting. He's got 3 fouls. He's going to be on the bench. Luke Therian, their league order, but really the story of the game, Jarek Palma, 20 points, 14 points scored in the second quarter. So we're off to start here, but I just want Brian Lee here to maybe just talk about what some of the keys are in the second half for Vancouver College and then St. George's. They're going to maintain this win.
Well, I can tell you, at halftime, Coach Scrub is saying a few things. Number one, they're not looking for a home run hit right now. They've got to inch away at this lead, and they're going to do it through execution. Go back to the game plan, get the ball inside to their bigs, crash the boards on second shots, and keep at it. The second thing he's talking about is making sure that they get some easy buckets when the opportunity presents itself in transition. Not a contradiction, but something that they got to consider because it worked for them the last time they played. On the other hand, Disbro's looking at his guys saying, look, in our mind, the score is 0-0. We got to come out in the next 5 minutes of this third quarter hungrier, more aggressive than these guys. And don't look at the score at all because that's when it detracts you from what your game plan is. 0-0, let's build on this lead in the next 5 minutes, and I think they're going to be looking pretty going into the fourth quarter. They got to spend time with the ball. What worked for them real well in that first half is the extra pass, the one more pass, spreading the defense and punching it in.
Okay, I was just going to talk to you about a couple key players here maybe in foul trouble for St. George's. Jackson Cohey just picked up his 3rd foul. Bill Lynn also has 2 fouls. So I guess Bill decided that he's going to keep him in the game for a little bit longer. Again, they're throwing that lob pass. We're going to see how they can defend.
That is a tough matchup for us to contend with. And I would go down every single possession and we get our big man a look. Every single possession.
Luke Therian really battling there, but also Bill Lynn and Al Ma going hard.
My guess is that Sam Woodard is coming in for Cohey because if he picks up his 4th, this could be a different ball game. And look at this already. They hit a bank 3-point shot.
Cut the lead to 14 here.
The first 5 minutes of this third quarter is everything.
I'm thinking if they can get this down to single digits, maybe 9 or 10 points here, that's all that Vancouver College is going to need to really get that energy. And as you mentioned, they look like they're making a pretty good start. Sahil Sandhu in for Tony Marich, start the second half. And look at that, Hepner really being quite effective. Last game he only had 2 points, and already he's a difference maker in this game.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised that if they don't score, if they don't get a score on this possession, that they call a timeout coming back down the other end, particularly if VC scores. Nifty pass by Jarek Palmer, showing that he's got the fundamentals and he's also very creative with the ball. Jackson Cohey's got to be very careful that he doesn't pick up a 4th foul.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you're right that Woodard's coming in for him, so we hope that he's got the discipline. Again, it's his birthday tonight, and he probably doesn't want to be sitting on the bench on his birthday, but hey, you got to be disciplined. See how they sagged off on that pick and roll there, and Jarek says, you're going to sag off? I am going to shoot that ball every time. They tried to freeze him. All right, we got it. Sam Woodard coming into the game, number 21. He's what they call a lifer at St. George's, Brian. He's attended the school from grade 1.
Well, you know, I can tell you, I was going to mention this earlier, a lot of these guys have been at the junior schools, respective junior schools, and they've been watching these games since they were 2nd and 3rd and 4th, 4th grade. So it means everything for them to be on stage right now. And you love to see it. As you look out in the stands right now, you see a lot of kids with their jerseys, and they've played, against Vancouver College at the younger ages as well. So it really heats up that rivalry. 12-point game with 6 minutes and 39 seconds going into the third quarter.
I don't know if Jarek Palma has ever met a three-point shot he didn't like. Nonetheless, he can shoot the ball.
Big bucket.
Will Lynn definitely plays a hard-nosed type of game.
He does. He really does. Love watching him play, the energy he brings on that court.
Okay, now they're playing behind. That's a nice little look. Just didn't quite execute on the pass. And this is what's going to happen in the second half. Guys get a little tired and they start to miss the shots. If you looked at shooting percentages in first half versus second half, you're definitely going to see a difference there. And Lum Tung, very athletic, getting to the rack.
Yes, he is. That's a great take.
He's also a wide receiver on their football team. And speaking with Todd Burnett, very helpful with information. He's a gritty player, and that's what you're seeing tonight from him.
Yeah.
Also want to thank Ryan Shams for providing some info as well on the Vancouver College team. Nice to be able to comment on both teams.
Well, I think it works in favor of Vancouver College when we keep shooting shots early in the shot clock, and they went away from what worked well for them in the first half. I would say to start this third quarter, Vancouver College has come out with a little bit more composure. What do you think?
Absolutely. They seem like another team, and that's the thing when you got Lloyd Scrubb at the helm. He knows what he's doing. He's definitely a winner. He's won 2 junior provincial championships. He was a member of the UVic national championship team as well. I believe 85, 86. I'm going to have to check through my notes just to double check on that. He was a first-team All-Star. As a matter of fact, for any fans at home right now want to take a look, they can Google the CIAU UVic, and you're going to see some highlights of Lloyd Scrubb playing in that game, of which they were victorious. Played under Ken Shields. Not only that, I know that Howard Samara is watching tonight, and his alma mater, North Delta. Speaking of junior boy provincial championships, take me back to Ed Terrace, 1971, 1973, won 2 titles. Well, guess what? Guy De Silva, our own St. George's Saints junior boys coach, he also has 2 junior titles under his belt. So he wants to get his team back there this year, and if he were to win a title, he'd only be the second guy to do it back-to-back after none other than Lloyd Scrubb.
Interesting facts. That's the ball movement that they want. Good job on the defensive end by Therian. Well done. They're doing a pretty good job overall in taking the ball and disrupting what Hunter wants to do on the offensive end. They always know where he is. Help is attacking him and being aggressive, not just allowing him to bring it to them. Good job overall.
Vancouver College with their patented inbounds play. They like to screen for the inbounder, and he's going to curl off of that. You got to defend. If you're gonna cheat, then that post player is going to open up, and you're going to have a nice little shot in the short corner. It's a 10-point game, Brian. There was a 19-point margin at half. We talked about it earlier. You said that first 5 minutes was key. We're under 5 minutes, and now it's an 8-point game. Guess what? St. George's fans, for those that aren't here, a little bit quiet right now. Vancouver College, you can hear them. Defense. They have some of the best fans in this province, hands down, and St. George's isn't far behind.
Very strong take.
That's a beautiful take. Lum Tung playing him hard, but Wooder drew the foul on the play. Owen Vandenberg out of the game, coming in, number 2, Thomas Chen. He's another senior. Taking it hard to the rack, Sam Wooder. Luke Therian, another board. Look at that outlet pass, Soriano. Wow. You know what? This is what we saw the last time they played, Brian. Vancouver College, that ball at times did not hit the floor in transition. I know that St. George's spent a lot of time working on their transition defense, preparing for this game. But now we're into the late in the third quarter. Teams might be getting tired. They're advancing that ball to pass. They're looking pretty good.
This is a game of runs, and Vancouver College didn't get their stride in the first half, but if you know anything about these rivals, nothing is comfortable out there on the court.
Jagger, I believe that's his second three of the game. Nice to see Kevin Hansen out here from UBC supporting this game. He doesn't necessarily have his eye on anybody in particular, although he just likes to come to these games because he likes the environment, and he actually even talked about looking at some of the younger kids coming up. They're off this weekend. They just lost their last two to University of Alberta. They got a bye, but they host a best of three coming up on Thursday, February 14th at War Memorial Gym.
It is neat to see university coaches in the gym watching this, and they also appreciate the wonderful spirit that high school basketball brings. It is a great ticket, great event to be a part of. Whether you're recruiting or not, if you love the game of basketball, this is a good spot to be.
Is that drift pass that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah,
the baseline drift.
Baseline drift pass. And it's about being in position so your teammates have pressure releases. Every time you have a baseline penetration, you need someone to come up behind so that they can give you that reverse pass. You need someone in diagonal so that you can now kick it if they cut to the basket. And then the drift pass is basically starting off typically in a position where you're above the free throw line and making yourself available on the baseline so your teammates have that outlet on that penetration. And both teams have been taking advantage of that throughout. So well coached, they know where they're doing, and they're playing with creativity. It's not scripted. It's nice to see that instinctual play come to the forefront.
Well, that was Jason Soriano, number 14 for the Irish, picking up his fourth foul. So he's out of the game. On the line, shooting two. We're now in the bonus, Vancouver College. So St. George's is shooting two. You know, interestingly, with Jarek Palm on the line, I had a chat with him, asking him how he felt that last game they played. St. George's was down. He nailed two free throws, 10 seconds left. I asked him what he was thinking. He said, I wasn't thinking anything. He said, I've been in that situation so many times before. So as you can appreciate, the mental side of the game is so important. And as you know, when you go to the line, a lot of things can be going through a player's head. But he really did stay in the moment and just nailed them like butter. This lead back up to 12 points here. Vancouver College had it down to 10. Marich also back in the game for Vancouver College. We'll see how he does. He's got 3 fouls.
Good defense.
They're double teaming. Soft hands. And we got a foul. He's going to go to the line and shoot 2. And you know, Brian, I'd be remiss tonight if I didn't mention my Gonzaga Bulldogs. In case fans out there aren't really following that closely, they are currently ranked number 4 in the nation. They lead the nation in scoring, scoring margin, shooting percentage, and assist to turnover ratio.
You know what? That's what you call a first-class operation. Mark Few, Tommy Lloyd, they've been at it together for some time now. And you take a look at the players leaving their program and going on to play professional basketball. I don't know if there's another program, NCAA team, that has as many represented. They do a fine job year after year. And you know what? They may not win a national championship year after year, but they're contenders. And that's kind of what you want your school to be in. You want to be in the conversation come March and compete and give your school something to rally around. So they've done a great job with that overall. I love watching Gonzaga Bulldogs play year after year.
Well, funny enough, fans out there want to watch the game. You'll be able to pick it up. They play San Francisco tomorrow night. And if you look, Google or find the West Coast Conference website, they'll have what they call WTV on there. Because that game's not being shown on ESPN, you will be able to catch that game online, and you can get a little sense of what we're talking about and the type of team that they have. Many critics out there are talking about them possibly winning a championship, and it's been a while since a West Coast team has won. That actually takes us back to Arizona, 1997, when they had Mike Bibby and Michael Dickerson, former Vancouver Grizzlies, on that team.
You're bringing back memories. I remember those days as if it was yesterday, watching those guys play at the collegiate level. Something special. A bit of a seesaw, would you say, Paul, in terms of the energy? There's been a bit of a flip back to St. George's and just kind of maintain a level play for the last minute or two. But again, you don't want to blow out either way, do you?
Well, no. We want the best game we can, especially for the fans, of course. And I think 11 points, it's still certainly within reach. Obviously, foul trouble is an issue for Vancouver College. Oh, we got an unsportsmanlike foul here on Tony Marich. I believe that's going to be his 4th foul. We'll see what the coaches are going to do. That's Mayor Margetti up there.
Well, yeah,
he's got to him.
He's got to take him. I mean, he's going to get an earful right now, because I don't think that's not a wise foul for a senior.
No, and
he's going to regroup and he'll come back.
Yeah, we'll definitely see him back in the game. He's a transfer from Sir Charles Tupper, so he sat out last season, and this will only be the 2nd time he's had to play in this type of environment. Shot clock winding down here, 2 seconds left. Jarek Palma had to get it off. Vancouver College looking to move it in transition. That's Logan Hale. Inside, as you know, they're going to try to get it into Luke Therian. Pick and roll. Let's see how St. George's defends this. Not much defense there. Luke going to the line. It's a foul on Jagger Scarf.
Paul, I'm telling you, every single time Vancouver College gets a touch inside the paint from their big man, something good happens. That's got to be an automatic go-to every single time you come down the court. And whether or not he shoots the basketball, he's got to get a touch. He shrinks the defense, and they're going to have to play him inside. Our next tallest player is 6'2" on the court. They've got to take advantage of that going down. It's an 8-point game right now. And look like they're trying to make a run.
Well, both teams are in the bonus here, so it could come down to free throw shooting. As I commented here earlier, St. George's was 1 for 5 in the first half, and Vancouver College 9 for 12. If I'm a betting man, though, I'm going to say Jarek Palma right here is going to knock down both.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against it, I'll tell you that. Kind of like the Super Bowl. I would not bet against New England Patriots. I don't know about you. I'm not a betting man. But if they told me I had to bet my house on something.
Me neither. And I know there's a lot of haters out there for Tom Brady, but I quite like his work ethic, to be honest with you. I like his preparation. Those are things that sort of entertain me. And even though Jarek, as I just said, would hit both, I kind of felt that maybe I shouldn't be calling out those sorts of predictions. But nonetheless, he is a sharp shooter.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it is. And that tells you how much time he's put into the gym to get to that level. I mean, he is an old school gym rat.
And this is sort of some of the things that Bill Disbrow's teams are known for, just keeping the pressure on. And at this point, I think Vancouver College is a little tired. We got Hunter, Cruz, Dumont's actually out of the game right now. Who's going to be the floor general for Vancouver College?
That's a great point, actually. They're going to struggle to have somebody to create opportunities for their bigs.
I imagine that Hunter, we'll see Hunter probably start the fourth quarter here. He probably need to give him a blow.
Well,
but everybody's looking a bit tired on the court in general. And here we go, Sam Wooders coming in. And when I'm talking about being tired, does that mean you shoot an air ball?
You know what? I think you jinxed him on that one.
Okay, let's see what we can do. Michael Chong into the game for the first time. He's a 5'8", grade 11 guard for Vancouver College. Okay. Now watch the inbounder on this play. Vancouver College likes to run the same thing every time. They're probably going to pop Terry into the corner. They're going to bring number 12 down. Number 5 is going to come over to the elbow, set a screen for the inbounder. Oh, running something a little different here. A bad pass at his feet. Really struggled, probably threw off his shooting rhythm a little bit. He's calling himself. I'm not sure my roster, I don't have number 5 here on my roster, so I'm not really sure who that is in the game for Vancouver College.
No, I don't have that either, Paul.
Oh, John Kalika. Sorry, Kalika. My apologies to all those fans out there.
Well, they got the ball in the right hands with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Do you think it's going to be a three-point shot?
Wow. Oh, maybe a little early in the clock. Oh, that's Logan Hale throwing up a prayer. Okay, we got a 10-point game, so Vancouver College cut that lead. I still believe it's any points game. I think the real stories here is foul trouble for both teams. Jason Soriano, 4 fouls. Tony Marich, 4 fouls for Vancouver College. Jackson Coe has 3. He's on the bench. I imagine he'll start the fourth quarter, but they're going to have to find a way to stop Palma. And I imagine that Vancouver College is going to continue to pound the ball inside.
I mean, it's what's been working for both teams. There is no answer. There's no answer for Luke Therian inside. And on the other end, I think they're doing a pretty good job in working anyhow to keep the ball out of Jarek's hands. But you know what? You know, we oftentimes talk about what he does when the ball's in his hands, but if you watch him work to get open, using the screens, he's a tough check to stay with, and he wears guys out through the course of the game. So kudos to him for that effort to get open and be available for his teammates. But going down the stretch, they're going to continue to go with what he's got to bring. But again, I keep going back. I know it sounds like a bit of a broken record, but Vancouver College, to get back into this game, they got to keep going inside.
Okay, so Marich is staying on the bench here. Sahil Sandhu, Hunter Cruz Dumont back in the game. Sean Hepner and Josh Lumtung for Vancouver College. For St. George's, we got Jarek Palma, Thomas Chen, Darian Lennett, Sam Wooder, and Al Ma. For those of you at home wondering what's at stake in this game, well, the winner of this game is going to take the one of the 4 top seeds into the Lower Mainland tournament. Each league winner will get a top seed, and then from there, 3 teams from the Lower Mainland tournament will go on to the provincial championships. Lower Mainland tournament will start on Tuesday, February the 19th.
You know, it's interesting. There hasn't been a lot of change of defense throughout this game. It's been man-to-man straight up from the beginning on both ends. I haven't seen anyone junk it up a little bit. I haven't seen anyone extend the defense in any kind of a zone trap or press or even a half-court zone to see how the other team deals with it. So it'll be interesting down the stretch if somebody decides to change things up and get a different look and hopefully get a flow from that.
Absolutely. I think you're going to continue to see the man-to-man D. Obviously a breakdown there. That's a big shot for Sam Wooder, definitely a confidence builder. The three-pointer. Here comes Vancouver College in transition, but turns it over. Darian Lennon with the ball. Drive and dish. That's what Jarek Palma does best. They got to take it away from him, and he's going to, whatever they take away, he's going to exploit. Lum Tung with a three. Here we go in transition. Ball's not touching the floor.
Gotta love it.
Very nice, very nice. Very good body control, able to protect the ball. You're not going to see anybody finish better than him on the break. We're talking about Jarek Palma. Maybe a foul on Will Lynn. Sorry, Al Ma. I believe that might only be a second. Once again, I just want to thank Ben Steiner here, our information director, working with us. Not necessarily on the headset, but if you're interested, you could also check out his website, Van City Sport, all one word, vancitysport.com. Got Sean Hepner on the line to shoot two. Got a 15-point game here. It was a 10-point game at the quarter. BC's going to have to do something here in the next couple minutes, I think, to get it close.
Well, they're going to have to look to mix things up on the defensive end. They got to extend the defense a little bit, not allow them to bring the ball up the court and dictate what goes on from the offensive end. If they're going to dig into this lead, they're going to have to mix it up.
Absolutely. Looks like St. George is pretty comfortable out there with what Vancouver College is throwing at them.
Yeah, no, they definitely haven't been taken out of their stride or their comfort zone, and it's working in their favor.
We're going 4 round 1 here, Vancouver College. And Lum Tung's, you know, he's actually been pretty effective. He's had last couple baskets aside from Hepner going to the line just with his dribble penetration. Soriano, again, probably their best defender, guarding Palma. He's got 4 fouls, so you're going to have to watch him.
Good job on the ball movement by St. George's in that last possession. I thought Vancouver College did a great job in closing out and getting out and containing. So good job both ways.
You know, it's interesting, that last foul there on Hunter Cruz Dumont. He's one of 3 brothers that are going to play for this Vancouver College team. And, you know, there's not many families that have 3 boys that come through the program. That being said, if we dial it back and we look at Vancouver College years gone by, those of you out there that are watching tonight, maybe alumni of Vancouver College, will know the Williscroft brothers. We had Graham, Paul, and Dave. Dave played out at UBC. 89 and 93. Paul Williscroft played at Langara, went on to play at the national team. And he played with actually Steve Nash. And Graham also, 98 grad from Vancouver College. So pretty unique situation.
It's really cool to see that lineage. Yeah, as you mentioned, I look out in the stands and I see 3 other brothers that played here at St. George's School, the McFadens. Luke McFadden, Dave, and Matthew, correct? And here they look. They're right across from us, Paul. I think you got a little special talent inside you for picking up these unique situations, huh?
Either that or I need to do a little more homework.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Inside joke for all those St. George's fans. I need to go to 5th block. Send me to 5th block.
No referrals yet.
All right. Well,
you get one chance. Well, you know what? With all this excitement, we're looking at a 10-point game with 6 minutes and 24 seconds left. 64-54. St. George's ball on their end out, and there you go. Look at Vancouver College extending the defense now. They're double teaming the ball handler. Good job in containing and being on the line of the ball as he brings it up.
Okay, so
this game is far from over.
Yes, sir, but guess what? We've got recruits coming into the game. We got Bill Lynn is going to check in here. And when do you think we're going to see Jackson Coey's also back in the game? I missed that substitution. Here he comes.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I'm Vancouver College, I would take it straight to Jackson Coey every single time at this point because he's got 4 fouls. So they've got, is he back?
He's
got
back
4
in the
fouls,
game.
and they've got to look to take.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Marich looking for the ball. They're looking to double. Oh, that's a soft foul there. Number 20,
Okay.
Bill Lynn. I think
That was
again, I think that
close.
might pick up his third. And look at that. That's 5 fouls for St. George's. Vancouver College is now going to be in the bonus here for 6 minutes. And as I commented earlier, pretty good free throw shooting team. And you know what? You can look at a lot of game stats. And if your team has got more than 20 free throw attempts, that's one stat that contributes to a victory. And in the first half alone, Vancouver College had 12. So they're probably pretty close to 20 right now. And now we got ourselves an 8-point game. Let's see how they defend the pick and roll here.
It's a hard hedge. Now the referees are kind of tightening it up a little bit if you've noticed. It's a 5-1
Oh, that's his fifth
foul
foul.
count lead.
And that's his 5th foul. Marich is not too happy about that. He's keeping his composure. That's too bad, but that's just the way it goes. It's probably going to be a learning experience for him.
Yeah, that's
He's trying to plead his case with Lloyd Scrubb, but I imagine that Lloyd probably gave him specific instructions going into the game, what he needed to do with 4 fouls. But as you say, hey, what kind of an environment are we in? This is very difficult to keep my focus. And as you know, the players keeping their focus. But when fatigue sets in, mental errors present themselves. Okay, here we go. On the baseline, on the side here, Vancouver College ball.
yeah.
Also want to thank SportsCanada.TV for being here and setting us up. Joel Brown does a great job. Got the replays going tonight a little bit, and just fabulous job getting ourselves organized. So thanks to him that we're able to broadcast this game.
First class operation. Well, Paul, we are now looking at a 6-point game.
Now, what do you think of how they're there? That's a very strong hedge. Is that how you would coach them to guard that?
You know what? I would. I mean, it's been working all game. They're not reading it. The player setting the screen is not looking to slip at all or read how the defense is positioned. And so I think you would stick with that all the way through. The other thing that you're seeing right now is that we're not taking as strong at the big man. We're shooting jump shots in front of them, and I don't think that's the way to get it done.
Now, I'm just wondering if there should have been a reset there. That ball hit the rim. We'll see what happens.
It did.
They
It
call-
did. But you know what? I think we'll take that foul on that second shot. And this is where Jackson Coey is dangerous. He's so active on the boards, hard to keep off the boards, and he's going to help us, I think, get down the stretch, defend Therian down the road. 0 for 2 on the line. We are having a very hard time in containing.
Well, Lumtong is really the energy guy for Vancouver College. We talked earlier about Thomas Chen and how he was an unsung hero for St. George's, but in my opinion right now, he's the energy guy. He's the difference maker on the court, number 3. And you know what? He's just playing with raw heart, athleticism, drive, and determination. And you know what? It's great to see.
You gotta love it. There's no giving up in that young man's game. The one thing I'd like to see is containing him and taking away the drive. I think every single point that he has scored today has been in the paint off penetration. I don't know if he had a point off a jump shot or any perimeter shooting. See what he's got from there, test it out a little bit, gap him, and let him beat you in the air.
Absolutely. So I'm sure we got a number of fans out there. As I mentioned earlier, last year we had over 1,800 views. Troy Brown said that this is the most watched telecast that he puts together for high school basketball, and it's actually even watched more than some world championships that they broadcast. So interestingly to note, the last time that this series was swept was back in 2012. So Vancouver College won the first game. They won by 1 point. And it's been a while since there's been a game that close. But we got one right now, 64-60. 4 minutes, 38 seconds to go. We got to go back to 2013, the last time VC won at their place, 75-74.
Josh Lum converting on the three-point play. Big players step up in big moments of big games.
I'm not sure if you're quoting me, but I love what you're just saying there.
That quote was straight from you, Paul. I can't lie.
Now, for the fans at home, too, I want them to pay attention to number 14, who's guarding Jarek Palma. That's Jason Soriano. He's got 4 fouls, and he's playing very aggressive. But you know what? He's probably got to do that, and they've probably made that decision as a team that keep playing your game. You're playing aggressive. That's what we need to do right now. Jarek Palma is just too much of a threat for you to ease off with 4 fouls. He's got a hand on him right now. We'll see what happens.
Well, if they get it right, they will double team him out of that end out. You know he's coming off that screen looking for that shot.
Pick and roll. They got a bit of a switch, and there he is. Jason Soriano being aggressive. He's gone. Unfortunately, it's too bad. I have to say I really enjoyed watching him play tonight. I thought he brought a lot of heart to the game. And now Logan Hale into the game. We'll see what he can do, if he can match up. Once again, if you've joined us, Vancouver College without 2 starters tonight. Both are injured with concussions. Callum Chow-White and Kelly O'Brien. It hasn't really been Hunter's night tonight.
You know, a credit to the defense. They're doing a really good job in containing him and contesting every shot. He's a heck of a player, and you know what? Don't count him out. I see 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in this game, and a player like Hunter will step up when called to. I mean, I'm watching Jared right now, and he's such a tough matchup. His ability to stop and start. He's very herky-jerky with the ball, handles it well. He's a threat from 3. He gives you a head nod, and you're jumping. He gets you off balance, and he's penetrating. He understands angles quite well. He's got great footwork. Unbelievably tough matchup. I'm looking forward to following him as he graduates and moves on to post-secondary ball, because he's quite the talent.
And Brian, I just want to comment on one thing. You've talked about him solely as a basketball player, but I just want to say as a person, he's a wonderful young man.
Oh.
Works with each one, teach one, and he's very humble as well.
Yeah, no, he's outstanding, and a student as well. He's a 90% average student overall. And you know what? He's going to be an impact on the college campus next year beyond the court. Any institution lucky to call him their own will certainly benefit from that.
And we don't always talk about elementary school, but he's a product of St. Joseph the Worker in Richmond.
Yes,
so
he
maybe
is.
we got some other graduates of that elementary school watching tonight. Have a little bit of pride, little bit of pride in watching Jarek represent.
Well, you know what? His cousin is an 8th grader here right now and is an up-and-coming basketball player, Zach Zapanta. And he led his team today to a win against Vancouver College and did a heck of a job in doing so. Another upstanding academic student, and he plays hockey for a hockey academy. So another all-round athlete, and the lineage continues to be strong in that family.
Jackson missed the first of his free throw there. He's actually missed his last 4. But I do have to point out the last game they played versus Kits, he was 5 for 7 from the line. So that's pretty much uncharacteristic for him to be that way on the line. I'm counting on him to come back and make some free throws down the end if he gets on back to the free throw line. Someone's down, looks hurt there, Lum Tung. There again, that football player toughness.
I was about to remark on that. What a great athlete. But you know what? There he is once again getting into the key, both feet in the key, causing a threat. They haven't yet learned how to gap him, to make him beat them from the outside or beat them in the air. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen at this particular point.
Perhaps for the folks at home that maybe are new to basketball or don't know the terminology, what are you referring to when you say gap him?
Gap meaning leave a space between yourself and the offensive check. Because when you get too close to a player that can turn the corner on you and get you on their hip, they're going to take it every single time. The other thing is I haven't seen him hit an outside jumper, which I'm sure he's capable of doing it, but let's test it a little bit. But overall, man, a heck of a player, and he's a warrior as he limps back on the defensive end. Well done for Josh. Love watching athletes like that take the court and do their thing.
So if you just joined us, St. George's was up 45-26 at the half. They were up 10 at the end of the third quarter, and now we got a 3-point game. Luke Therrien's been pretty dominant on the boards tonight, as well as getting the ball inside. We're going to see they're going 4 around 1. Big to small screen here. They're sagging off. Logan Hale making him shoot the ball. Will Lynn looking to help Jackson in the post. Darian Lennett.
Good jobs on the boards. They're going to need everybody in the paint on every single shot, assuming it's a missed shot and crashing the boards. Paul Prosnick, this game is heating up, and I love every minute of it. This is what you want to see.
Absolutely, and I think my sense is, there you go, Lloyd Scruggs with a timeout. That's going to put them up 5. My sense is that St. George's at times can settle for the outside shot, but I think at this point, at this juncture in the game with 1:39 to go, I actually think they're going to be most effective with penetration.
I agree, and when you have a guy like Jason Cohee with his athleticism and his physicality pounding it in inside, he's a really, really tough check. We know that we're in bonus as well. Draw the foul, get to the free throw line, and get some easy buckets. So that's the call of the day. 1:39 left, 5-point game. It'll be interesting to see how it plays itself out. Now, as you can hear, fans, you probably can see on the TV, but the energy from both sides, from the student body, is electric. And you gotta love seeing, as you look out, the purple and the red from one side to the next. They're bringing it on the court, but I'll tell you what, their fans out there are getting a workout themselves in this game.
Absolutely, and you know, I think Winston Brown at BC Sports Hub had a really nice piece on this game tonight. So if you get a chance, maybe check that out. But if you're also interested in this rivalry, as we talked about being such a great rivalry, what you might also want to do is just YouTube Vancouver College versus St. George's. And you're going to see things either on YouTube or in Vimeo of videos, little clips, recaps, previews of this game.
Here we go, Vancouver College ball. Down 5 with 1:39 left in the game.
So we got a 2-possession game on our hands right now. They tap it off Will Lynn's back, hoping to get something quick here. Lum Tung. We got 11 seconds on the shot clock. I guess people at home got that on their monitors as well. Just another little detail that SportsCanada.TV provides, making this quite fun to watch.
Not the best angle to make that lob pass from the deep wing area. You've got weak side help ready to go, and they're doing a good job of keeping out of big man's hands. They're fronting him, and they've got the backside helping on that. So that's a good job on St. George's part in adjusting to the size that Vancouver College presents in this game.
Well, you know, very difficult. You got a set piece there, end play. You're hoping you're going to get a shot off. That really hurts. Again, 2-possession game. 1:18 to go. We're going to see how they handle this. Bill Disbro shouting instructions here from the sideline, trying to direct them as to what they want to do.
It looks like they're taking Jarek off the ball I like that move. Stretch the defense a little bit, have him coming off a screen and getting an easy look.
We got Cohee open in the corner here. And we're going to have a skip. No. That was a pretty good look. I'll take that look. Okay, Therian with the board. Lumtung with the ball out on the break. Going to attack the rim. And a block.
Oh.
And it's good. Oh, me. Oh, my.
Wow. He does a dipsy doodle pro hop and a finish with a foul. Big players make big plays in big games, Paul Prosnick.
I love you, Brian Lee.
Talk to me, Paul.
Well, here we go. He's on the line. We mentioned this before. I think he's hit his last 4 free throws. Is he going to be able to zone in and finish the job here? I don't see Bill Disbrow taking a timeout. He's going to play it out.
Interesting.
3-point game. They can D him up. They got to D him up. Last time these teams played, Jarek Palma hit a buzzer beater, 81-78. That's last year I'm referring to, 2018 in this gym. St. George's won, 81-78. Six seconds on the clock. Shot clock, that is. Oh, and a block. They're down 3. They might not know what's left. I'm going to say that Lumtung did not have an idea that they were down 3. We had a guy in the corner ready for the ball. I think it might have been, it was Hepner in the corner. You know what? I don't want to fault Lumtung. He's played a hell of a game. If I get a chance to see him after, I want to congratulate him. But again, we talked about that earlier. Late in the game, fatigued, a little bit of a mental error. You know, and I hope that maybe coach takes some responsibility for that too, because they got to know the scenario where they're at. And like I said earlier, he went 0 for 4 from the line. Cohee, I said I want to see him back on the line. Guess what? He's an athlete.
Well, you know, he just stretched that. Any hopes that Vancouver College had in a one-possession game down 3 is just now nullified. That's a game-winning free throw right there. Regardless of hitting this next one, which he nails. I mean, what do they call that? Ice water in the veins. There's an athlete that kept with it regardless. The mental fortitude it takes to step up and knock down those 2 free throws at that time of the game for an 11th grader says a lot about who he is. Well done.
Well, I got to tell you something. There's probably someone I'm going to reference here named Chicky Hearn. He was a broadcaster for the LA Lakers. And you know what? At this point in the game, he's going to say that this game's in the refrigerator, my friend. The door is closed. The lights are out. The eggs are cooling. The butter is getting hard. And the Jell-O is jiggling. This game is over.
I don't know if I even want to respond to that, Paul. I don't have a response to that. Well, other than that, you're a beautiful human being. It's been a lot of fun tonight getting down with you here on this telecast. And you know what? I'll partner up with you any day when we have this opportunity.
Hey, right here, right now, let me shake my hand and let's say, hey, we're on for next year.
Hey, it's a date, my man. It's
2020. Hey, how's the sound of that, eh? 2020.
2020.
Anyway, kudos really to both teams, both schools, the sportsmanship, the energy. And once again, I know there's lots of people that want to be here watching the game that weren't able to, and I'm sorry that you couldn't be here. But hopefully you're able to watch online and enjoy it. Lumtung for 3 to finish. And the St. George's fans stormed the floor, 70-65. They are going to be the #1 seed coming out of the independent. The rankings changed today. And guess what? Howard Samara, he's probably typing away right now at home. I'm going to say the rankings are going to change again next week.
I would think so, Paul. You know what? I'm going to end on just this comment of kudos to both schools, the administration, the organization around from the athletic departments to ensure that this healthy and positive rivalry continues. You've got so many kids in the gym, so many excuses and reasons for something to go awry, and it's held in high regard. And as we look out and we see them storming the floor, we see parents, we see younger folks, alumni, and of course current students all gathering in this wonderful, wonderful example of what high school sports should be all about. Kudos all around. Nice to be a part of it, Paul Prosnick.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, Brian Lee. And we'll be signing off right now.